But now I can say I do have one 18 plus video on YouTube though. I might as well like turn this upside down and blindfold myself. I don't know what I'm doing. I am SammyTrain, and this is my favorite interview on the Citadel.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of my favorite interview on the Citadel. Today, I have a first guest from overseas, all the way from the United States. It's SammyTrainTv.
Hello.
Yes, she is a variety streamer, my absolute role model when it comes to variety streaming. She is great, and I normally say what kind of games you normally play, but you play so freaking many that I don't even remember. Can you tell me which games you're playing right now? Because I know it's a corrupt
Right
one.
now?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, so right now I'm doing playthroughs of Paper Mario, the Origami King. I'm doing The Last of Us Part 2,
Okay.
Ghost of Tsushima,
Holy cow.
and definitely at least one other one that I don't remember. It's too many.
My questions are gonna start straight off. How do you manage to keep everything in mind? Because most of those games are story based. How do you not confuse things?
Oh, it's tough. I will be honest with you, it's tough. And the way that I stream, I'm only focusing on the game 20-30%, and I'm focusing on chat the rest of it. Like, they're my focus. They're like, I'm making sure that I'm entertaining, I'm making sure that I'm engaging.
Right.
There's some kind of background noise to that. It's not my focus. So I'm a lot of times I'm missing a dialogue, and chat will be like, did they just explain that? You're asking a question they just answered. Are you paying attention? No, I'm never paying attention. I'm paying attention to you guys. So I try to keep myself doing a recap at the beginning of like every stream of a story base. That helps me a little bit to keep myself in line. But I'll be honest, I miss details a lot of the time.
So by the end of the playthrough, there is approximately like 15% of game that you remember, and then the rest of it is just like, background noise.
Usually I get the general vibe. I'll know if like the good guys won by the end of it, but that's about it. It's more about the journey and not like the specific destination. And the details, I mean, they're just fluff. You know?
Right.
So I'll be honest with you, it's tough to keep everything straight. It's tough to keep everything straight.
I'm at a loss of words usually, because like normally you hear people say like, oh my god, this story, this, so story rich, all of the side quests, all of the story that the game is telling you. I'm playing games like for that because I want to experience that with my community,
Yeah, I mean, I would love to say that, but it's just the fact is that like on stream, my memory is like so short term, and I might forget some details. I mean, I'm very much like present in the moment, and maybe I'm so present in the moment that I don't even remember the moments moment to moment, if that makes sense. It can be tough to keep everything in line. I think I do an okay job.
I think you're doing a great job.
Horizon Zero Dawn's the other one I'm playing. Yeah. And definitely at least one other one that I don't remember. The Horizon Zero Dawn, I understand, okay, I'm playing Aloy, there's robots, and then it kind of unravels from there at a certain point. I kind of get it. I do try to do a recap, but I'm sure there's stuff that I'm definitely missing. That's what chat's there for. Chat fills in the blanks for me,
I know, and it's kind of like creates the sense of the communities. You are legit playing games together. it's you and chat doing it together.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. They fill in the blanks in my memory.
Right.
Chat is a necessary part of the process.
So you were playing single player games and you play in multiplayer games. I found you when we both were playing Dead by Daylight, which was ages ago. And I think around that time you also started playing Rainbow Six Siege, right? And you still play it every once in a while. Which one do you say, in sense of single player games, multiplayer games, which kind do you prefer and enjoy streaming more than the other?
Which I enjoy streaming more. I honestly think that it is the balance of the two that is what is perfect. Because it's my multiplayer games that helps me to connect with my community. I'm always playing those with people in the community, and it's a way to just kind of, it's a more chill environment. I can sit back a bit. I'm talking with other people on voice chat. There's so many memorable moments that are happening just in those conversations. And we do take the game seriously. I mean, we are trying our hardest in Siege. We are always trying our hardest in Dead by Daylight. It's not like we're just fucking around. We're trying to get those wins.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to get those wins. So also that brings this, you know, teamwork, competitive aspect to it that I enjoy.
That's an L. Oh no, that's not.
Damn it. Help on me.
Last
Damn
operator
it.
Damn it.
standing.
Come on, reload faster.
15
Almost said it
seconds.
was an alibi. Stupid.
10 seconds.
What?
That wasn't a headshot?
5 seconds remain. Secure the room. Protect the bio container.
What the fuck?
Last stop standing. Op 4
I think something else took over. I can't really explain what happened.
The fuck was the tech?
My God, Sammy!
Sammy just went
Can't really explain it.
What
It's just
the
pure instinct. But caveat, the other side of that, I really do like those single player adventures that we go on. It's something special to, especially if you have a community that has not yet seen the game. Like if I'm playing on release night or something,
Right.
we're really riding the roller coaster together. We're going on the ups and the downs, and you know, I'm surprised by something and chat's surprised by something, and we're tossing out theories back and forth. Do we have him? I'd say he's not coming back from that. Whew. Whew. Are you serious? What? Get me out. No. No. So if I had to choose one, I would say that probably streaming single player I enjoy a little bit more, just because it's more of that aspect that we're going on this really meaningful journey. You know,
Right.
especially I think
Yes.
survival horror might be my favorite genre to stream, like
Mhm.
something like Resident Evil 2 or 3, one of those remakes. That particularly, and seeing like someone in chat say that, you know, they just got super scared, they just screamed, they spilled something, and you know, I'm right along with them, like having a reaction,
Right.
and we're seeing like, yeah, it's. I think that that feels a little bit more of a bonding experience than a multiplayer game, but I would, if I had to choose, it would be really tough to choose one or the other. So I'm really grateful. I'm really glad that I'm able to do both in my normal
And
schedule.
you, I think, are one of the few people that successfully do both. That you are, your chat is equally engaged when you do single player and multiplayer. I've never seen that anywhere before, and I'm in a very good way. I'm jealous in a very good way.
Well, it's definitely. I mean, it's no secret that variety streaming is not the best way to like grow your numbers or anything like that. But I do think that variety streaming is the best way to grow a community. Yeah, I think day after day, you're not having people that are coming for the same playthrough. You have people who are coming there for you, and they're going to be there every day no matter what game you're playing. And that's real warm and fuzzy, you know, to know that you could be playing something as different as Siege, and then you go into Uncharted 4, and then you're going into Paper Mario, and they couldn't be more different, but the same people are still showing up, and you know that they're showing up for you and not necessarily for what's on the screen, and definitely not for like the pro gamer plays. So to know that, it's a really good feeling.
A question that I ask everyone, and I actually don't know your story, so I'm equally as curious.
Okay.
When did you start streaming, and how did you end up streaming on Twitch? What happened in your life that you kind of like, oh, okay, there's that. I'm doing that full time. It's my job now.
Yeah, so I think like most people, I got to it from it being a hobby first. I was working a full-time job like in the publishing industry, which I was really glad to get because that's what I went to school for. And you know, I was working it, and I would stream maybe a night here, a weekend here, really sporadic, like didn't even have a schedule planned. But I was curious to try it because I thought that I would be good at it. I don't really have like that rosy story. Like I didn't want to do it because I wanted to build a community. I didn't want to do it because I wanted to make friends. I thought it would just be something I'd be good at. So I wanted to try it. And I tried it every now and then. And then there was a transition at my workplace. They went through some rocky times, and most people were laid off. And I was one of those people that got laid off. And that was March of 2017, like the first week of March 2017.
All right.
And that was on a Friday. And I think it was that Monday that I decided to jump headfirst into full-time streaming. Like I decided that day, okay, I'm going to go 40 hours a week at least. We're going to start now. Because I knew that if I didn't try it, I'd always be wondering what if. And I couldn't really live with that feeling of, you know, uncertainty and not knowing what would happen if I just actually went for it. So I committed myself to it, and that was over 3 years ago. I've been like extremely fortunate that I've been able to make something out of it. And to comment on something I said earlier about how like I didn't start this for a community or for friends or for connections, looking back, like looking at it now, that is now the most important thing that I've taken from it. I did not expect that at all. But whenever I think on what I find fulfilling about this and what I find rewarding about this, the community is front and center. And I never expected that. I just thought, you know what? Let's show us some skill. I think I'm good at games. I think I can be entertaining. Let's just do something and be good at it. But now it's the warm and fuzzies. It's the community and it's the people that I've met and the connections that I've made that is most important. So it's, yeah, that's my journey. This was not my plan A, not one bit was this my plan A, but I haven't been happier doing anything else. So
I am personally super happy that you decided to do that, you know, so that, you know, we've met on that journey of yours.
It's hard to imagine like where I'd be if I was still working my, you know, job in publishing. I worked at a company that was like similar to BuzzFeed. I did copy editing there. And like I said, it was great to work in my industry, but I found it kind of like soul sucking in the end. Like I was the person, Ivy, that helped make the clickbait titles. Like that was me. You'll never imagine what this girl looked like. That's what I did.
Do you remember your cringiest title? The cringiest clickbait one?
You know, I think that I've repressed most of them. But yeah, it was not something that really I felt rewarded doing. Like, at the end of my work days, I couldn't really see what is my positive contribution to the world. How does this article about like a man eating 29 hot dogs in 3 seconds, like how does this help anybody? Like I had to try to do mental gymnastics and tell myself that it was like escapism for people that were reading it. But what I'm doing now, I find much more immediately rewarding than anything that I was doing before. So yeah, for tons of reasons, I'm really glad that I got fucking laid off in March 3 years ago. So glad.
Now
Best thing that's ever happened.
Well, maybe somebody else whose dream job was to write clickbait titles for articles got the job, and they're like, it's a blessing. I am so happy that person left. It's everything I want to do for a living.
That's a nice way to think about it. Yeah.
Right. Do you remember the first game that you ever streamed? Because you said that you wanted to show some skill, that you were good at it. What was the first one? Your first game of choice to go for?
Okay, well, I know the answer. I feel like it's going to surprise you. It was Hearthstone.
Wait, what? What?
I streamed Hearthstone. Yeah, that was the first game that I streamed.
No way. No. Okay.
That's what I did.
Okay.
I didn't really speak to how I wanted to show off my skill, but I had, like, my old setup over here. It was just a janky laptop that I got for the internet and Microsoft Word for college. And I didn't have a capture card. I didn't have anything. I sort of tried to use this Xbox app to send my feed to my laptop. And then I used OBS screen capture to put that on there. And then I had this other monitor. Like, it was really amazing that it worked out.
It sounds like you were like in the RPG and you had a potato and a duct tape and a couple of sticks, and you're like, how do I stream on that?
That was essentially me. I mean, even before that, I would try streams with a cam, like a different way. I would sit on my couch, I would have a step stool next to me, and I would have my Kinect camera from the Xbox like taped to it, facing me. Like, very humble beginning.
Answer, girl.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
No, I did not say restart. No. Cortana? No. Cortana?
You have your pockets all out.
No.
Gonna get your tags all snagged on something.
Oh. Ooh, that okay. Crisis averted with Cortana.
But anyway, I do remember streaming Hearthstone as like one of my first things, and I don't know why, but that's just what I chose. I guess because it wasn't too graphically demanding, and
That makes sense, yes.
that's what I went for. I barely remember those days, but I do remember that was one of the first games that I streamed.
I
Believe it or not.
cannot imagine you as a Hearthstone player.
Yeah. I mean,
wow.
I guess I can see how like card games later influence the stream because whenever I went full time, I streamed Gwent and Stardew Valley, and that was it. So
well,
I guess there's always
Gwent
been this...
Gwent I can get behind. Okay, Gwent
Yeah.
I can totally get behind. You know, but
Hell yeah. Hearthstone was a little bit of a different beast, but yeah, that's the humble beginnings was
humble beginnings.
Blizzard's card game.
Exactly. I think that's a good point for everyone because a lot of people say, I want to start streaming, but I don't have this. I don't have the capture card. I don't have the light. I don't have the good mic. I don't have the good camera. I think that's a very good example that you don't need all of that if you really want to do that. You can start with the shittiest setup ever, and if you're entertaining enough and if you're really passionate about that, it's eventually gonna work itself way to this fancy setup pictures that many streamers post over
Completely.
over there.
Like a lot of people will ask, you know, I want to start streaming, what all stuff should I buy? And the one thing that they can't buy is the one thing that's the most important, and that's like themselves as an entertainer. You can't like snap your fingers and just be yourself a good streamer. You can't buy a fancy green screen or lighting or, you know, a computer that costs $4,000. That's not going to make you a good streamer.
Right.
It's always going to boil down to you. And whether like whatever your setup is, as long as you're like bringing it, I think that you can really go places. I think that's the exciting thing about it. Like it's such an accessible thing to get into. And like you said, I think there's so many people that think that they need the bells and the whistles, and they really don't. They just need first and foremost themselves.
Right, and their love for video games, or if not video games, Twitch is evolving obviously, or their love for streaming.
There's so many things.
Yeah, their love for streaming and communicating and, you know, bonding and building a community for sure.
Yeah.
Have you ever had an absolutely disastrous stream? Because a lot of people love breaking about the highlights, you know, like 1,000 gifted subs, you know, huge rate. But have you ever had a super disastrous stream when like something bad or embarrassing happened? Okay, I'm excited.
This is back in the before times. So on that setup that I described with my old laptop and the Xbox app. So part of that is the Xbox app. Whenever I would like stream it to my shitty laptop and then capture it, it was pixelated if there was like a lot of action on the screen. And I'm not just saying pixelated for OBS. Like what I was personally seeing looked like, you know, some sort of messy avant-garde art piece. Like it was
interesting.
That's what I was seeing. So that is the necessary part of this story. Another part of this story is the game. BioShock Infinite is what I was playing. And I was playing it on 1999 mode, which is the hardest difficulty that you have to enter like the Konami code or something in order to even unlock. So I'm trying it on this mode, and I'm going for a specific achievement within the game where you're not able to use items from a vendor. Anyway, I misunderstood that, and I thought that I couldn't upgrade anything. So flash forward just a little bit in this playthrough, and I'm at the final boss. None of my things are upgraded. I'm on this really shitty setup, and I've been streaming already for about 8 hours. And most of my streams, you know, they're about 6 to 8 hours. That's what I consider like a full day of work. So I asked chat, like, how close are we to finishing this? Like, is this something that we're going to do today? And someone in chat says, yeah, you have 2 hours left. I'm like, okay, I can do that. I can push it to 10 hours. 17 hours go by.
What?
I stream for 17 hours. And this is not like a planned streamathon. I'm not like going for like 12 or 24 hours. Like, no, this was just a normal fucking work day. And I go for 17 hours trying to beat this terrible last level. It's pixelated. I'm getting tired. I'm definitely getting cranky. I don't like myself as a streamer anymore. It was a mess. Total mess.
Oh god.
Like I was so like down on myself after that stream that I like let it get away from me, and like here's the thing, Ivy. I didn't even beat it. I still didn't even beat it on stream. I had to play it on my TV so I could actually see it without the pixelation. There was like nothing good to be gained from any of that. Like
I would have
if
quit
there's
forever.
I wanted to like quit everything. Like, just check out. No, you guys will never see me again. If there's any silver lining,
Right?
it's that everyone who was like in chat that day,
Right.
I feel like we've gone through something horrible together, and maybe we're closer as people.
The theme of your channel is hype train. Actually,
Yeah.
Twitch stole that idea from you. I do believe they did. How did you come up with this idea? Why trains? Why this theme above all of them?
So I did not like brand myself as SammyTrain. It actually goes back a little bit to whenever I used to play Battlefield 2 at LAN parties in like middle school.
I'm learning
And-
so much about you and your game
I know, it's
taste
so
today.
fun. So good. Sharing. So I would play Battlefield 2, and this isn't a surprise to most people that see me stream in game. I am worthless, completely useless on mouse and keyboard. Like I prefer controller in my hands. PC Master Race, I don't believe in that. Like I just am total shit. Even at shooters, like just click heads, can't. I don't know. It's useless. I might as well like turn this upside down and blindfold myself. I don't know what I'm doing. In Battlefield 2 back then, I wouldn't shoot people. I would get in vehicles and run people over. That's how I got my kills. That's the literally only way that I got my kills.
Wow. Okay.
And my friend started saying, it's like you run people over with a train. And she started calling me SammyTrain. And it just kind of stuck then
and
as
it's
like a
stuck
gamer
back
name.
then. Oh, nice.
So I've been having that as like my gamer tag and my gamer name. And then just from there, whenever I started streaming, I was like, well, let's just try to branch out from this, and we'll try to just brand it as like Hype Train, and we'll associate like, you know, the subscriber mini games with that and different like branding and the emotes, and it just kind of fit. I can't take credit for that. My best friend from middle school, she takes credit for that. I can't really take credit
you
for
can
that.
take credit, you know, for running people over in, you know, with a vehicle. So
Yeah,
I
can
mean, in a way.
That I'm good for.
that is super great. Another thing that's quite unique for your channel that I don't think I've seen anywhere else. You do this whole hype train seats thing for subs every month. Can you tell a little bit about that? How did you come up with this idea? Were you doing this from the very beginning, or is that more or less recent thing on your channel?
Sure. So the hype train started as a little bit of an idea that I got from a streamer that I used to watch a long time ago, Holly BB. I don't know if she streams anymore. I think she might be doing other things, but she had this branding with like hot dogs. And every month, if someone subscribed, they would choose like a condiment to put on the hot dog. Like, do you want to be team mustard or mayo or barbecue? Like that was kind of the gist of it.
Cool.
So I thought that was like a cool idea, just have sort of teams. And then I wanted to like take it a step further. And so for mine, I have 3 different colors of hype trains. You can choose one. And at the end of the month, whichever train has the most people in it, all those people get entered into a raffle. And then whoever wins the raffle, the one person gets to tell me a game to play for at least one stream. So I sort of took this seed from another streamer and just went off of that a little bit. And it evolved into what it is now. Fun fact, that's how I got to play BioShock Infinite. Maybe it's not a fun fact, but thanks to that person.
Do you remember the name of the person who suggested BioShock
I do.
Infinite to you?
She's so sweet. She's a great girl. She's still part of the community. I don't blame her. I blame the person that said I only have 2 hours left. My blame does not fall on the person who chose the game. It's a great game.
What's the most recent game that the member of the community have told you to play? Like the super recent
The most
one?
recent game was something called Flipping Death.
I've never
which-
heard about that one.
I had never heard about it either. And honestly, this sub raffle, you know, sometimes people are like, oh, play Fortnite, play you know, some other game that everyone's heard of. But a lot of people have these like indie darlings that they'll mention that I would have never played otherwise. And so it's been something that I've really enjoyed checking out what people suggest. So Flipping Death is this like really funny puzzle platformer. I would really recommend it. I think that your community would like it.
All right.
It's about like a girl who dies and she sort of takes over for the Grim Reaper, and
Mm-hmm.
it was an interesting little game. So yeah, that's introduced me to a lot of games that I've ended up enjoying.
That does sound pretty amazing game-wise and the gameplay-wise. And that's
Yeah.
also such a good idea to get to, get to know your community better and their gaming preferences and the game that they really like playing.
Oh, totally.
And,
And it also, I mean, shows me which of my community members are like trolls at the end of the day, because like some people choose like this game and they send me this paragraph and they're like, this game, it really impacted me whenever I was a child and I have such great memories. And then other people are like, fuck you, you're playing Getting Over It and Super Seducer. So
Oh man,
really-
oh man, oh man, oh no. Those two titles, I have very fun, great, painful memories about those
Fun.
two games.
yeah.
You lead a pretty nocturnal life. You even have
do.
an image of you as a vampire as part of your merch collection, right?
That is true.
So
That is true.
So you stream during the night usually,
I
right?
do. Yeah, all the
Um,
time.
Right. So what time do you start? Like your time?
It's a bit of a running joke within the community that I say
Mm-hmm.
I start at midnight my time, but I'm never on time.
All right.
Don't tell anybody, Ivy. Like, don't
Okay.
post this anywhere. But
All right.
my actual start time has been closer to like 2 a.m.
Oh,
for a
wait.
while.
Oh,
Um,
I was thinking like 12:30, like maybe
Me and
close
time
to.
have never gotten along very well. Like, I
Alright.
really try to start as close to midnight as I can, but
Uh-huh.
I'm just really bad at that. I'm one of those people that no matter what time I leave for
Mhm.
something, if I'm going somewhere, I'm always late. It doesn't
It's-
matter. It's just I don't get along with time. I
But
just
you were
don't.
not late for this interview, so thank you very much.
That's true. That is
means
true.
that guys, Sammy was not
What-
late for this interview.
So clearly it goes interview with Ivy, my stream.
My
That's
streams.
Sorry, everybody, but
Sorry.
I mean, you know where you fall.
Sorry, Hype Train community. Sorry. But the thing is, the question is also about your way of streaming during the night. Does it
Yeah.
screw up your day-to-day life a lot, or you
So
know?
I have always been a bit of a nocturnal animal. Like I've always been a night person. I think there's, everyone says I'm either a morning person or a night person. I feel like I'm a night person and I really
Mhm.
like take it to the extreme. Like I have just always felt like I am more active at night, more energetic at night, more just on my shit at night.
Mhm.
So for me it works. Now, the reason that I started streaming overnight though was not just because I preferred it, but again with like the old laptop setup,
Right.
that's me and my wife, we have like one desk, or we had one desk
Okay.
back whenever I started streaming for full time. And she was working at home during the day.
Mm-hmm.
So the only time that I could stream was overnight. And that
Mhm.
was for the first like several months. And so I just got used to it and I built a community within that. And now I've really grown to love the times that I stream because we end up getting some night owls from the US
Mhm.
and we get some early birds in Europe, and then we get like people during the day in Australia.
Right.
And I know that there's other communities that are have an international audience that don't stream during these weird hours, but at this point I wouldn't dare to change it because I wouldn't want to risk like losing any of the awesome regulars that we have that have been
It's
tuning in.
very true. I always catch you at the very early morning for me, so it's kind of like my routine every morning. I make
Yeah.
myself a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. I turn on my PC. I
that
go to
sounds so
Twitch.
nice.
You're streaming. I'm like, you're my go-to morning stream. And whenever
Yeah.
you take a vacation, I'm like, okay, something is clearly wrong. Who do I watch now? It's all suddenly
I
I'm
am
doing.
happy to be a side dish to your breakfast.
Yes, and to my
Please.
morning, work. You're there on the second
Yeah.
monitor always.
I wouldn't want to change it. I mean, now I do, to answer the rest of your question.
Yes.
For one, as a person, I don't really get tired.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, I do sometimes, but only after like a long, long period of being awake.
Right.
So, in order to spend time with my wife at all,
Mhm.
I do have to switch my schedule every single weekend. So, after my stream on Thursday night, I
Mhm.
usually stay up for a full 24 hours,
Mhm.
and then I go to sleep at like normal person time.
Right.
And then during the weekend, like right now, with the sun shining in, I am awake during like a normal time. So I
Mhm.
do flip it for the week and then for the weekend.
Mhm.
But and people ask how I do that.
Right.
think that I should just be like completely discombobulated and not know like what is up and down and super tired. But
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm really lucky that my body, like I'm just able to do that and I don't really feel any negative effects from it.
Because you're a vampire. Everybody knows that by now.
Yeah, everyone does know that. I could have just answered your entire question by saying that and like nothing else, but
That's it. My interview here is done. Too much sunlight.
that's it.
Yeah.
I gotta go suck some blood. I gotta grab people to go visit.
Right. You mentioned your wife, and that's good. You actually answered my next question about, when you guys managed to spend time together. But there is one more concerning her. Does she ever get jealous of anyone on Twitch? Because you spend so much time on Twitch, right? Whether of fellow content creators or, members of the community. Is there ever any jealousy going on?
Well, I have to be honest with you, Ivy. She was a little iffy about me having this date with a cute redhead.
Oh,
but
no. Oh, no.
No, honestly, I feel like at this point, because we've been together for 12 years now,
Right.
like our relationship is so secure that jealousy is just not something that really factors into it. Like she does not see anyone that I'm connected with on stream or like any of the viewers as an actual like threat or anything. Like she shouldn't. So like not a threat to the relationship or a threat like to our time together. So no, I mean, I don't think she gets jealous. I hope she doesn't get jealous. She's never said that she does. I would be really surprised to hear that she would have that reaction to anything. So no, I don't think so. And I mean, I would say we don't get as much time together as like other couples who are on a same like day-night schedule. However, I feel like that does help us to appreciate the time that we do get together like more. Like our weekends are like our time together, and like our little times whenever we're overlapping waking hours during the evenings, like that's very much like time for us, and we don't take it for granted. Not that we used to, but we definitely don't now.
You have never said that Twitch partnership was your ultimate goal, right? You are
That's
one
true.
of the most proudest Twitch affiliates out there, and can you please explain why? Because so many people say partner push, I can't wait till I'm partnered. It's like I want to be there, I can't wait anymore. But I've never heard you say that, and in fact you've been quite the opposite. You've always been like, I don't really care. Can you please tell why?
Sure. So I think whenever I first started, for the first maybe 6 to 8 months, something like that, it wasn't that same story. I did want partner. And in fact, I have applied 3 times. I haven't applied for years now, but it was something that I did want. But I think it was at the same time something that I never really wanted for myself. It just felt like, okay, if you're streaming, this is your trajectory. This is what your success looks like as a streamer. And you must get this many viewers, followers, you must hit affiliate, you must hit partner. This is what success looks like. But whenever I think more about it, and whenever I thought more about it, that's not what my success looks like. Like my success is being entertaining to however many people are there, 2 or 200, it doesn't matter. And just feeling fulfilled from that, feeling rewarded from that, and just being able to make enough money to not like go behind on my payments or bills or anything like that is simply success for me. So I have been feeling successful on Twitch for the last couple of years. I don't need some sort of check mark to validate what I've already accomplished on Twitch. Because the truth is, if someone comes in chat and they say, I've been having a really tough day, but coming into your stream, like it just makes everything melt away. Like, thanks for doing this. That means so much more than any check mark could ever do. Now, of course, I'm not saying that people who go for partner and existing partners, like they should be super proud of that. Like if that is the goal for them and that's something that like they worked for and that they're proud of, like that's awesome. I couldn't be happier. It's just not necessarily something that I consider as a goal. It's not like if I get it, if I ever decide that I want to apply for it, then okay, but it's not going to be if I get it, then I feel successful. If I don't get it, then I'm a failure. It's no surprise, like I mentioned before, that like doing variety streaming, it's not the best way to, build up your numbers and get partnership. Like there's just other priorities that I have that might not map onto other streamers' priorities. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just all different streamers with different goals. And I have to admit, like I'll have people asking semi-frequently in chat, like when are you going to get partner? You should get partner. As if everyone just assumes that is a goal for every streamer, So I think that success just, again, I think it comes in many forms. So
Yeah.
for me, I already feel it, but
Mhm.
that's not to say that I don't support other people who their, success does include partnership. That's fine too.
Right. How do you feel when you get those questions in chat?
I guess, like, I know that they mean really well,
Mhm.
and I know that they're saying it because they think that I deserve it. Deserving partnership is a bit of a weird topic. I don't know what that means,
Uh-huh.
but like I understand that they're well intentioned.
Mhm.
But I'm not gonna lie, it's maybe slightly frustrating to get
Mhm.
questions like that because whenever you have a sense of success that you feel for yourself, and
Mhm.
then you have all these other people sort of implying that no, this is on your path to success.
Mhm.
It's just a little bit of like a disconnect between what I feel fulfilled by and what other people think I should be fulfilled by.
Right.
I think by this point most people like in the community or like most regulars have probably heard my stance on it one time or another. So I don't get that question a lot, but sometimes I still do. And it's not like them bringing it up changes my mind and makes me
Mhm.
think, oh shit, should I be going for that? Like it really doesn't change my mind, but
Mhm.
it's just a little bit of a shame that they think, partnership is just the next step that of course I'm pursuing. Like they say it assuming that I want it. And I
Right.
don't necessarily want it. I will say this much. It would be cool to have like more emotes for the community.
Right.
Anything to give back to the community would be awesome.
Mhm.
But there's really that's I feel fine without it. They can just spam like the vampire emote forever, you know?
Where do you see yourself as a streamer in 5 years from now? I'm not. Let's say not streamer, content creator. Okay, because streamer is way too
Yeah.
specific.
Hopefully still working, hopefully still streaming.
Okay.
I guess this goes a little bit to the partnership question. Like I do feel like I've already reached success.
Mhm.
So honestly, if I just continue on this path
Mhm.
and I'm still able to make enough to pay my bills and I'm still feeling rewarded,
Right.
I'm fine with being in basically the same place in 5
Mhm.
years as I am now. Uh, I mean, it would be nice to maybe have like a different space. Like I live in the New York City area, and apartments are very small.
Mhm. I feel
I
you.
didn't realize exactly how small until someone on stream, like we
Mhm.
have like a challenge reward point,
Uh-huh.
and they said to like play the next round of Dead by Daylight standing, and I realized I can't because I don't have anywhere to put my chair. Like it's very small, and I'm in the back of like my living room,
Mhm.
so it would be cool to maybe have like a different space
Mhm.
or like my own little closet. I don't know, or something.
like a Harry Potter of the streaming world.
and under the stairs,
Yeah.
But as far as like things that happen as a content creator,
Mhm.
I would feel incredibly lucky if I was just able to maintain this. Like that's not to say that I would be averse to growth, of course not.
Mhm.
Although there's also people have asked if like the channel, let's say, got really big and like that chat is always like flying by. I would almost not like that because I really do enjoy like engaging with people, and my mindset has always been if someone takes the time to write in your chat, you should
Mhm.
take the time to try to respond to them. If someone takes the time to follow, you should take the time to thank them. So I wouldn't be able to do that if like we got too big.
Mhm.
So there'd be a part of me that would like want to hit a ceiling eventually.
Right.
Sometimes even now I feel like I'm missing so much of chat and I'm like feeling bad for people saying shit and I don't know what they said and it's been minutes and I'm trying to scroll and it's out of control. So yeah, as long maintaining would be excellent.
Mhm.
Slight growth, okay, but not too
Yes,
much.
but
As
not
long as
too
I'm
much.
still working in 5 years, that's fucking awesome. So just don't go anywhere, Twitch.
I feel like we've been through a lot. I feel like we've been on Twitch way before the whole affiliate program was a thing, right?
Yeah.
And it's very weird looking back and thinking that it was not a thing back in the day. We've seen a lot. Yeah. Speaking like old people now.
We're gonna sound like we're like out on our rockers, recollecting, thinking back.
Right. And a non-Twitch related question. You are super good at voice acting. Sometimes you do a little bit of the voice acting on your streams. I think my most favorite recent one was in the Paper Mario. What is the name of the character? Who are you voicing?
Oh, don't say Toad.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Toad.
No.
Sorry, Toad. So you recently did like, voiced over Toad, it was cracking me up. It was so good.
You guys did it! I'm free! You want to go to Autumn Mountain now? I know it hasn't been that long, but I can't wait to operate this tram again. It's tramtastic! That's where we're headed, right, Mario? Because it looks like that's where the blue streamer leads. I've got one passenger waiting, so just let me know one way or the other. Are you catching this ride?
Yeah. I think we're good to go. Yeah. Who's in there? Okay, I don't know what voice to give.
Hey, what's the holdup? Everything okay out there? Everything's fine, sir. Just getting these final passengers ready. Off you go to Autumn Mountain. Enjoy.
But have you ever considered doing some voice acting, a little bit more professionally? Or maybe you've done that for some projects?
Well, I've the most that I've done my dad worked at a radio station. He was like a DJ and manager of a radio station, so he recorded like a lot of his own commercials. He's
Right.
actually like my raid notification. I think you knew that. He's like the all aboard man.
Cool.
So I did a commercial with him whenever I was younger, but that's the closest to like professional voice acting that I've ever actually gotten. Mostly it's just a way for me to make the stream more entertaining, perhaps at my own expense, especially when I'm trying to voice Toad.
It was perfect.
It could be cool to do it professionally. Maybe if Twitch like exploded, that could be something that I could try to pursue, because I really don't see myself sliding back into like the 9 to 5,
Right.
normal type job. I think I definitely would want to do something that's at least a bit creative. So it could be cool. I definitely don't know like the means of doing it, and right now I'm just 100% focused on like my Twitch stream. But it could be an interesting avenue to pursue.
All
Perhaps I
right,
have been
game devs
practicing.
and especially indie game devs out there. You heard me. Check out this lady and her fantastic voice acting.
Just maybe don't check out the Toad clip.
I normally ask people, who they hate on Twitch. Well, not hate, who they don't like on Twitch as the
Hold
content
on,
creator.
wait, let me get my list.
Everybody's been, and I've learned that everybody's trying to be super, super nice about it. Kind of like never giving me like this. I'm always waiting for. I'm never waiting for a name, but I'm always waiting for somebody saying like this person or like that person. But people are, I think, a little bit too afraid to say that. So
fair.
I am paraphrasing the question entirely, and now the question sounds as: what are some qualities in a streamer that repel you? Like you click on a stream and there are some qualities that are going to make you say nope, not watching this person.
Oh, I like this question. It's a bit mean.
It is.
Well, I'm going to start on like a little bit of a nicer side, and I'll say if I'm trying out a streamer, like if I'm clicking through streams,
Right.
if it's just like dead air for 10, 15 seconds, I'm out immediately. So I don't know if that would be like repulsion. But if I'm trying out a new streamer and they're just not talking at all, like not stream of consciousness, not like narrating, I'm out of there. I have a very short window for I'm giving people a chance. I will just take myself somewhere else if that's not happening. How much do I want to say? I want to try to answer it. I don't want to like limp out, but I also don't want to say too much that I'm like identifying anyone that I'm talking about.
Totally not identified anyone here.
Fuck it. All right. So I don't like it when people seem. This is just personally. I'm not saying this is like the wrong way to conduct your business. I would never assume to tell anyone how to conduct their business. I really don't like it whenever people seem too like numbers focused. That's a big turnoff for me. You mentioned like partner push before, and like I understand, and I believe in other people's goals, but I think that just really quickly can turn into looking at your viewers as just numbers and not realizing this is a real human that is choosing to spend their time with me, and that's amazing. I think that once you start to care too much about like your overall view count and your overall like followers, I think that can snowball really quickly and just turn you into like a metrics monster. And that's really unattractive to me. I'm really turned off by that. I'll see like different things that people will like directly say in their streams or things that they'll put in like their titles. And it kind of turns me off whenever someone is too just comes off as too numbers focused. Now, I'm not saying that you can't be doing partner push and still also care about your viewers, but there does come a point whenever it just seems like people are only caring about numbers and nothing else. That turns me off immediately. Even if it's a streamer that I am like connected with
Mm-hmm.
or may be connected with currently, not saying I am, I get really turned off by that. And
Right.
I think it's just a difference of mindset. I think it's just a difference of mindset.
100%. Yeah, I guess it's just like how you. That the question was, what repels you? It's not you giving people advice. It's kind of like what gets you. All right, that is such a good answer. Thank you so very much.
Was it too mean?
No, it was not too mean. That was actually perfect. I think you were the first person who just answered the question directly instead of going, and being polite and, smoothing the corners. And, it's like straightforward. And thank you so very much for that. That's really great.
I'm going to say one more thing.
Yes.
Can I say one more thing?
Of course.
Like something that goes off of it.
Yes.
I saw this one streamer on Twitter who was telling like best practices for like new streamers.
Right.
And they had this like mini calendar laid out.
Okay.
And they said that if a game like comes out and your average is like 20 to 40 viewers, you cannot stream this brand new game until the 3rd week of it. It's like,
I think I've seen this tweet.
Like,
I think it's
stream a game when you want to stream a game. Like, my main advice to streamers is to stream whatever you want. Like, I know that that's basic advice, but I think it's true advice.
Yeah.
You want to stream something that gets you excited, because I think that your excitement and your enthusiasm is contagious. And I think that viewers are smart, and they're going to be able to tell if you're faking it. And they're going to be able to tell if you're just, wasting your time playing some stupid game that's been out for years whenever you really want to be playing Ghost of Tsushima. But shit, this guy on Twitter said you have to wait till week 3. Like,
right.
That's what I mean. It's like that kind of like numbers focus, and especially whenever bigger streamer who's like has this numbers focus, and then new streamers think that they have to have this numbers focus. Like, I get it. I get growth, and I get, grinding out for views, and I get trying to get like partner. I get it. I just personally, it's not a good look for me. It's not a good look for me. I'm done now. You can go.
That is so good. That is so good. No, thank you so very much. I think I know a lot of people, hopefully people who will be watching that. I feel like many people have to hear that. Many people have to hear it. Stream whatever you want, whenever you want, as long as you're excited about it, and don't worry about it too fucking much. Yes.
I think maybe it's easier said than done to like not care about your numbers.
Oh no, sure. You can say that about honestly everything. Honestly, about everything, easier said than done. But that's good. Perfect answer. I am so proud for asking you this question. You have no idea.
I answered it.
Ah, you did.
I said it. You're not gonna like post this anywhere or anything. So
oh no, only YouTube. Only YouTube. And the final question: who is your absolute role model on Twitch, if you have any?
Ooh. I don't want to be a super cheeseball and say like, the person I'm talking to, but at the same time, it is the streamers that I associate myself with a lot. So like our communities, we have overlap, and like we host each other, and we've been part of each other's community for a while.
Right.
So it'd be honestly like streamers like you and other streamers who seem like they're giving their all to it. They seem like they care about their community. They're having a really fun fucking time, regardless of whatever else is going on. They're going to try to put like their best face on. And in addition to like, because I would consider, you a successful streamer, like others like that are in our orbit,
Yes.
So those streamers that seem like we're on like this similar-ish level, I definitely, look up to like my peers in that way, and, at how they're making content and just doing the most. But also, I really look up to just the smallest of streamers who you'll go to their channel, and like sometimes I'll see, like in our Discord, we have a streaming channel where you can post if you're streaming. And I'll click on one of their streams of just someone random in the community, and there'll be, you know, 1 or 2 people watching, no one talking in chat, but they are putting on the best fucking show. Like, they are giving it their all. They are being so goddamn entertaining to, maybe as far as they are concerned, a room with no one in it. And I find that so inspirational. I think that's just at the heart of it. You got to just
Yes.
bring your all, no matter who's listening, no matter who's paying attention. You got to put on your best show every day. And I find that inspirational. Like, if they can do that whenever they don't know if anyone's watching, shit, I can do that for however many people I have. I will
Mm-hmm.
give my all to whoever's there. So yeah, I would say, you know, streamers that I consider like peers who I think have already achieved a certain level of success, and they're just continuing to bring it and continuing to like churn out new content, maybe even new interview series, you know, stuff like that, and just doing so much stuff that I think is great, and not ever losing like their fire and their integrity with it. And then the other would be just smaller streamers who are doing so much even though they have not maybe achieved what their levels of success are.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so
It's
very
been so
much.
good.
Thank you for agreeing to be interviewed by
course.
me, for trusting me.
Flattering to be asked. Thank you very
For
much.
trusting me with the questions, because you did not know
course.
what the questions were. That was super impromptu thing for you. And yeah, now I'm gonna ask you to say the thing, and I cannot let you go without you saying that.
Of course. I am SammyTrain, and this is my favorite interview on the Citadel.
Perfect. Thank you so very
right?
much.
Did I say it right?
Yes, you nailed it. You nailed it. It's good. It's good. Thank you so very much, Sammy, once again. I hope that in 5 years from now we are still there. We are still doing what we're doing,
hope so
and maybe
too.
maybe we can do it again, and we can
Yeah.
make a new video of us watching this interview and reacting to it, and you know, reflecting.
That'll be whenever we're older on the rockers,
yes,
you know,
yes. And
having like some vodka, you know, just chilling.
maybe we can watch it in the ice bar, whatever that is.
Oh yeah, we have to get there. Oh, we have to. It's necessary.
That'd be so great. All right, guys, thank you so very much for watching, and yeah, bye.
I just started my cycle and I've got no tampons!
What did I just hear? This like Lady Marine just screams, quote, I've just started my cycle and I've got no tampon. What just happened? Do you want to try me? I can make goats fly, bitch.